Hello friends, welcome back to Electronic Measuring Instruments. In the last class, we have seen about the use of differential voltmeter, basic circuit of differential voltmeter, AC differential voltmeter, and different modes in which a differential voltmeter is used, that is, standard mode and differential mode. The next topic is high voltage probe. So in this, we'll study about high voltage probe and clamp on current probe. First, let us say high voltage probe. A high voltage single-ended probe is typically used for measuring ground referenced signals up to 40 kilovolts. So when the input voltage applied is very high, of the order of kilovolts, normal cables cannot be used or normal probes cannot be used for measuring the voltages. The wires may get burnt out because of the higher amount of currents. When this much high voltages are applied across the wires, very high current flows through the wire of the probe, so that normal probes they cannot sustain that much high currents. So for measurement of high voltages, specially designed probes are to be used. However, some single-ended probes are designed for instruments with isolated or floating inputs for measurements that are not ground referenced. So naturally voltages are measured with reference to circuit ground. But even when voltages are in floating condition, then also certain single-ended probes are designed for such measurements. Floating voltages also can be measured using high voltage probes. High voltage probe is used to measure high voltages in the order of kilovolts. A high voltage probe allows an ordinary voltmeter to measure voltages that would otherwise be too high to measure or even destructive. This point you have to observe carefully. A normal DC voltmeter, it cannot measure the high voltages as such. But when the voltage given to the voltmeter is reduced by tenfold or hundredfold, say for example, if the input voltage to be measured is 4 kilovolts, and if a divided by 100 potentiometer is used, decimal divider is used, that means two decimal dividers. One changes the input voltage by zero point 0.1 to zero point 0.9. Further, that changed voltage given to another decimal divider, say for example 400 volts is there, it is converted by 1/10 to 40 volts by using a single uh, decimal divider. By using second decimal divider, it can be converted into 4 volts. Then that 4 volts can be conveniently applied to the normal DC voltmeter. But when that 400 volts is directly applied, it may be destructive to the DC voltmeters because the resulting currents are very high and no PMMC movement can withstand high currents, because PMMC movement is made up of a movable coil made up of very thin wire. Thin wires power dissipation capability would be very low. With high currents flowing through them, they will get burnt out, right? That is why potential divider circuits are needed, or decimal divider circuits are needed. So it does this, that is, a high voltage probe is used to measure high voltages using a normal voltmeter. By reducing the input voltage to a safe measurable level with a precision voltage divider circuit within the probe body. That is, within the probe body itself, a voltage divider network is placed. A voltage division of 1000 to 1 may be used. That means every 1000 volt can be converted into 1 volt by using the potential divider network employed inside the probe, by using the 1000 to 1, 1000 is to 1 ratio. The probe head is made of high impact strength. High impact strength, what does it mean? If at all the probe network, the probe internal divider gets failed, that results in heavy currents. So the probe head should be in a position to take that heavy currents. Even when the potential divider is working, first this probe head is to be connected to high voltage portion only. So from there, high current flows to the potential divider where it is converted into low voltage. So naturally, it has to have high strength to withstand high currents. And thermoplastic material of special design is used to protect the user from electric shock. So along with this high impact strength tip or the probe head, the insulating sleeve of the cable also, what happens, the high current flows, naturally the power dissipation will be more, and power dissipation in a metal would be in the form of heat. So when a plastic envelope or cable insulation is used, there is a tendency that the cable may get melted out because of high power dissipation in the form of heat. So thermoplastic materials with high temperature withstanding capability are used as sleeve materials for the cable in order to prevent the user from electric shock. Now you can see the arrangement here. Here is the tip potential divider here, 1 is to 100 or 1 is to 1000 or 1 is to 10. Three range selector switches would be there. From here, this is a cable high thermoplastic with a thermoplastic material capable of withstanding higher amounts of heats. From then, provision for connecting in the circuit, either using clip type arrangement or using insertion pin type arrangement, right? This is another one. Here either using clip type or using BNC cable type. This is high impact strength strip. Within this, a potential divider network would be there, and here is the range selector switch given to cable. And the internal circuit for a high voltage probe would be like this. Here is the tip, 1000 ohms, 1100 mega ohms probe head to withstand the high currents. And at high voltages, there is every possibility of stray capacitances also affecting. In order to compensate for this stray capacitance losses, a compensation circuit is provided here in the termination portion. So whatever is the loss that is occurred, that is recovered here, right? So probe head, then cable. It has been shown as a separate part, but actually after probe head it comes cable, then comes the termination. This is probe head, this is cable, this is the terminating portion. Probe head up to here cable, this is the termination portion. And in the termination portion, this is the circuit used for this stray capacitance loss and a current limiting resistor connected to the device. Connected to the device. A voltmeter, a normal voltmeter can be connected here. So by using this high voltage probe head having 1000 mega ohms, the internal resistance will be limited. The internal current will be limited. It flows through the cable and through the terminating end it reaches the device. And depending upon that reduced current, the normal voltmeter will give the value. And that value has to be multiplied by a factor. By what factor? By a factor by which here the voltage is reduced. Suppose if the probe needs 1 is to, sorry, 10 is to 1 scale, here you have to multiply the value with 10. 100 is to 1, multiply the output of the meter with 100. 1000 is to 1, multiply the output of the meter with 1000. That means, suppose if the output is indication as 0.2 volts, in the first case, multiply with 10, that is 2 volts. In the second case, multiply with 100, 200. In the third case, multiply with 1000, that is, sorry, in the second case, it would be 20. The third case, it would be 200. So that is all about high voltage probe. And its construction is given here. The construction of a high voltage probe is as shown in figure. It consists of a 100 mega ohm resistor in the probe head that we have seen. This is connected to the termination end through a special probe cable making use of thermoplastic material which can sustain high temperatures caused by the power dissipation in the cable wire. The probe compensation is done by adjusting the network consisting of R1, R2, C1, C2 and C3. This part compensating for this loss. And the next one is a current probe. This is about high voltage probe. The next one is a current probe. This current probe, actually how do we measure current? Normally we measure current in a circuit by opening the circuit and placing the meter in series, normal ammeter. But here by using this type of probe, that is current probe, we need not open the circuit. Simply we have to place the wire through which the current is flowing in this slot in the clip. And when this cable is connected to a meter, the meter will give the readout value, the current value. That is how this is how a current probe is used. Instead of opening the circuit, directly the current can be measured. Something like this. Just press this, the clamp will open here, and the wire across which the current is to be measured is placed inside, and this is connected to a meter or measuring device. Current would be directly measured. And of course, a scaling also is available here, into 1, into 10, into 100. That scaling also would be there depending upon the magnitude of current to be measured. Now see, the internal circuit would be like this. Clip on head, that is this portion, this one. Then 5 feet cable, this remaining portion, this one. And a core, actually this is the live wire where current is to be measured. When that live wire is connected here, here there would be a core. Because of this live wire, some magnetic electric field would be generated, and that electric field will produce some EMF in the core. Here core is placed. Because of that EMF, voltage will be generated. Now here, because of this core, voltage would be generated here, that is amplified, and using another cable, it is given to an AC voltmeter. Initially a 5 volt meter 5 feet cable, then a 2 feet cable is used, this one. Then it is connected to AC voltmeter, and here the sensitivity is 1 millivolt per 1 milliampere. Suppose if 1 milliampere is flowing here, it would be converted into 1 millivolt by using this core, and that 1 millivolt is amplified and then is made available at the voltmeter. 1 millivolt as it is cannot be measured by the voltmeter, so it is amplified first, then applied. And if the meter reads 1, then divided by 1000 gives the 1 millivolt. That is how scaling has to be fixed for the AC voltmeter. The construction details are shown in figure 2 for the current probe. The current probe is similar to that of the current transformer, with a difference that the iron core is replaced by a ferrite core. The current flow probe simply clips around the wire carrying the unknown current. This one. It will clips around the wire. Here you can see. It, by opening this, the wire could be placed inside here. Here also, by opening the clip here, wire would be placed inside that. Because of that live wire, current carrying wire, EMF would be generated in the core. That EMF would be taken for the measurement by multiplying, by using an amplifier. Inbuilt amplifier also would be available in this. Range selector switch also would be available in this. Here also. Right. The wire forms The current probe simply clips around the wire carrying the unknown current. The wire forms one turn of the primary of a transformer. As I told, it works as a it works on the principle of transformer with this as primary, that is the live current carrying wire placed within this hole acts as primary, and then there would be a core on which a coil is wound that acts as the secondary. Due to electromagnetic induction, current voltage would be generated in the secondary of the the secondary coil which is wound on the core, and that voltage is used for the measurement. Primary of the transformer. A secondary of many turns is wound on the ferrite core of the probe. The voltage induced in the secondary of the probe is amplified, and the amplifier output is measured by a suitable AC voltmeter. The amplifier is designed so that 1 milliampere in the wire being measured produces 1 millivolt at the amplifier output. The current is then read directly on the voltmeter using the same scale used for voltage measurement. Instead of 1 millivolt, we will read it as 1 milliamp. The current probe consists of clip-on head and amplifier which can be used as AC voltmeter. The probe is effectively a current transformer. Okay, all this we have seen. Uses of current probe. For AC current measurement, AC current probe is used. The measurement can be done without disturbing the current under test, circuit under test. Particularly, these current probes are used for checking the current in the live wires, that is, electrical wires that are running on poles. To measure the currents, these current probes are used directly without disturbing circuit. The current probe can be used for current summing and equalizing also. Instead of one cable, suppose if two or three cables are placed inside the same hole here or ring here, then we will get the current, we will get a reading proportionate to the sum of the three currents or four currents depending upon the number of wires that are within the ring. So it is used for current summing also. This property makes the probe a more valuable and easily applied tool in applications in which it is desired to equalize alternating current. This is all about current probe and high voltage probe. The next topic is bridge circuits, DC and AC bridges, that we will see in the next class. Thank you.